welcome you to this video where we look a bit closer inside Betty. The algorithms and the parameters. In the end, so I'm trying to explain the algorithms, how they work, and that it all makes a lot of sense. The strength of this software is the backend. It is the functions that are working for decades already. And to understand that it's well thought out and that it's going to work and that all of it makes sense, I have to show you a couple of those secrets. In the end, I'm going to show you that it really works with a quick presentation of the software itself. What Betty does, the idea, so it's a sports betting application. It's compiling or computing the probabilities for whatever you can bet on. The idea is this: the reciprocal of the probability is the true price. Whenever the user gets a higher price than this true price, Betty would recommend a bet. Any professional punter would do so. Long term, such kind of bets makes you a winner. The dream of any worldwide punter: find the winning bets on your own desktop. Don't wait for others to give you bets that are still most likely going to lose in the long run. The cycle and how Betty does it. Step 1. We compile the goal expectancies by the team strengths. Step 2, we compile the probabilities for what market offers prices for. Step 3, let the games begin and finish. Step 4, so hopefully have some bets and win them. Step 4, update the team's strengths according to the results. Step 5 equals step 1, compile the upcoming fixtures based on those adjusted settings. So you can compile them before the games are finished, and you can do it afterwards and then compare. So the computer or the engine with my algorithms and with my settings will adjust the strengths and will thus make new prices, but they won't differ too much. The parameters, there's more than just the team strength. So there is the team strength, but on top of it, we need the home advantage, the goal average, the draw factor, and a couple of update factors. But let's stick to the one for now. So it's one update factor. We have to understand that there's more than just how good a team is, because it also depends on the total goals and so on within the league. So we will see that in a second. The team strengths, they are measured by the goals expected to score and the goals expected to concede. Where does those values come from? Obviously by this function that I explained it already, updating things and so on. But usually you could say, well, how good will they be in the future? Well, most likely as good as they had been in the past. So you derive those goals expected to score from what happened before, right? The home advantage is individual. This home advantage here is a league-wide home advantage where you have to compare and you have to do those settings right. At least I want to show I'm taking care of those things. The goal average, the draw factor, it's also a driving factor that is pretty deep, but how much better can I explain you all the secrets than you can do it yourself. The team strengths are derived or determined by the goals expected to score, goals expected to concede, the home advantage, which is still on top of the league's goal advantage, not on top of it. It's comparing it, so to say, with the league, the league-wide home advantage, and this one is individual. Same thing with the goal average and the draw factor. Other parameters needed, that was on the slide before, sorry. The home advantage, as I explained already, league-wide, the goal average league-wide, the draw factor league-wide, and the update factor. As I said, there can be more than just one, but that goes into the somewhat even deeper functionality, which comes later. I'm not going to explain this today. This is for future prospects, how to even improve the calculation methods. When two teams meet, what happens? We need both their team strength, obviously. We need to compute the goal expectancies for this one special fixture. We take the average values of the league for comparison reasons and for a solid mathematical solution, because you can only do it if it's a solid mathematical basis. You have for that, and that I do have which I can still say others don't, obviously. This solution needs to be clean, and it is. The secret partly revealed. Well, to make me, whatever I say, trustful, I'm not a, mathematician. I am, but not having any grade or something like that. So the secret partly revealed. So how would you trust me? Well, because I explain you partly what the secrets are. The goals expected to score of Team 1, their home value. The goals expected to concede Team 2, their away value. How many do they concede? How many do they score? How many do they concede? Because they won't score the same amount against any team, and the others won't concede as many as they had, especially against this team. It's special value. The home goals scored on average in the league. We have to compare this. Now we know the expected goals the home side will score on average in this one special fixture. The same algorithms are applied to the away side's goals expected for this one special fixture. So we will have a special two values for how many goals are the home side going to score in this special fixture, and the away side are going to score for this special fixture. And those two values, they fit to each other, because it's what they are expected to score is what they are expected to concede, and what they are going to score is what they are expected to concede. So what do we do with these goal expectancies? Now we need a solution how to turn these expectancies into probabilities. Best would we get all probability for every chance betting market offers prices for. This one solution is a simulation of the games based on these goal expectancies. The simulation function, part 1, is simulate the game repeatedly, say 1,000 times. So that's what I'm going to do, or that's what I did in 1990 already. Create goal opportunities. The total goal expectancies for either side drive the size and or the occurrence of the chances. And this is, well, how much of a secret do I have to tell you? It is partly revealed here as well in the simulation. And the simulation function part 2, watch out. The game of football is special. There is a certain inclination for the teams to be content or put up with a draw. It is something that is pretty human. You have to understand the psychology maybe to know that this value is there, but you also can do it statistically if you don't care about psychology, and you still have the chance to look at the statistics, and you find out something is special about it. And this is what I do take care of, and so this is when the draw factor comes into play. After 1,000 runs, both teams should have, more or less, because it's a simulation, you can't guarantee it, scored the amount of their goal expectancies times 1,000. So if I expect 1.6 and 1.2 for the other side, then I should have 1,600 and 1,200 for both sides, although I have to care for those special things. But all of this is done, so it works. Results and good usage of the simulation means count all the events during the simulation that you are interested in. You get the probabilities for everything market offers you prices for. Think of a market 1x2. Too simple. Count the times team 1 wins, team 2 wins, the game ends in a draw. So then you have the probability by the relative occurrence. It's called. That's the probabilities. It's approaching it. It's very close to. Correct score 1-0 could not be easier. How often did it happen in your 1,000 simulations? So if it's 160 times or whatever it is, right? Then you have 1 in 6 or 1 in 6.3 or something. Halftime team 1 winning, full time team 2 winning, dropping off. It's just dropping off. You just need to count it. How many times did it happen? 50 times, so it's 1 in 20 the chance, right? If it happened 50 times in 1,000. How many goals have been scored? Over 2.5. Counted how often it happened, and you got your true price. So all the prices, all the probabilities are dropping off by their relative occurrence. But for example, also both teams to score or whatever market offered there. But that's what was the but that was coming. This simulation has still some downsides because it takes a while, and it's not. It does have its good point, but it does have some downsides as well. speed, it takes a little time to simulate. If you make it 1,000 times per game, then and you have 100 games per day or so, it takes some time. Results are not reliable. They can diverge from one to the next simulation. So you get a 136 for a win, or next time it's 134 maybe, because, well, it can happen. So there's a chance so there is a chance to replace this by a function. And this function has been found and it is applied. That's what I did already back in the 90s. So I don't want to use the simulation, although it's excellent, but you can always replace this by a function, which makes it a lot more reliable. And not reliable, it makes it faster, and you get always the same results. And we can apply this to all markets as well. What happens after a game is finished? Well, part 2. Where's part 1? Sorry, this is part 1. There will be a difference between what Betty expected and the final goal line. As I said, if you expect 1.6, 1.2, the game is not going to end 1.6 to 1.2, because that's not a legal football result. It will end 2-1, it's as close as you can get, or it will end 3-0 or 0-4, 1-1. All those results are possible, can happen, and now you have the comparison. The difference will be for both teams. So for them to score, how many did you expect for them to score? How many did they score? How many did they expect for them to concede? How many did they concede? So you update this team's strength and this team's strength. Even for both teams, in the expected goals to score and the expected goals to concede. So there are 4 values to update in the first place. The difference is one part that cares for the adjustment. The difference between these, so if a team scores 4, then they score 2.4 more than I expected. So most likely they are this much better, because what other chance do I have to adjust? What happens after the game is finished, part 2? The other part that cares for the adjustment is the update factor. This one determines how much effect the user wants, or we want, or we need from this difference to take on the team's strengths. So how much impact of this 2.4 goals difference do I want to have on the how much bearing I want for their strength in this one value, because the against goals they can have conceded for as well. So offensively good, defensively bad. So I will update both these values. It is preset to 30 within this software, because this is an optimized parameter, because I've done that very early in 1990 already, that I worked out to optimize these parameters. It still possibly needs some individual care. Now the update factor, let's have a quick look at it. Although it's optimized, it still can be fine-tuned. One aspect is early days during a campaign, rather adjust a bit faster. You don't know yet how good the teams are, you're not certain. So you think, well, I'd rather adjust quicker to the results. If a team are, after 5 match days, they are on top of the table, although I thought they are 16th or so, then maybe it means they are a lot better, or they can carry on like that. So I rather adjust quicker, that's one point. Or you do not know a league so well, recommended adjust a bit faster to cover the deficit. Now you say I'm going to start with Finland. Well, I don't know this league so well, so I start with some original settings. I'm not going to bet right away, but I adjust faster for the start, and then I get some decent settings after a while. Times are changing and results take more impact. That's one part that has to be watched out for, because nowadays it's you lose. They all want results right away. No more patience, resulting in a higher effect of a single result. Maybe because if a team starts to lose their confidence, they lose a game, they lose another one. So you think this should go a bit faster to adjust here. And there can also figures can tell you, but that goes too deep a bit for now. Someone just believes it goes a lot faster, or someone trusts his original settings. It's also one thing that you can work out, that the better you are early on, the less you have to adjust. But if you are not so certain, or you think, well, let's just go a bit faster to make it work quicker. Anyway, so this was for that part. And now I'm going to show you quickly that it does work. I mean, I have some random games here, but you could tell me anyone. But I select the Utrecht Ajax. I would say it's 140, 135 maybe Ajax. I don't know. 144. So yeah, but Utrecht had a very good campaign. But we could compare this with market. But all I can say, show you here, it's that it's based on these team settings, and they are usually, it's the strengths and the goal sum, things that I talked about, and all those other factors are taken care of. This home advantage here, and 4 home against home, 4 total against total, 4 away against away, and so on. So all those values are kept here or displayed here, although you are rather not asked to adjust them, even if you have your access to it. But that's what I wanted to show, and this is the basis for that. And of course we can have a look here quickly at what market says, just to but it will most likely be 130 only, 140, so I'm very close. And Celtic, it's similarly one-sided, you could call, at Dundee United they are pretty low, so it's even less, it's 125, 130, 132. And let's compare this one, and at least to show you it does work, and it's based on these settings, and I didn't compile it beforehand. So where was my Scotland? 115, so here it's a bit lower. Well, anyway, do one more. Kiel against Sandhausen should be 195, maybe 2.0, something around that. I'm just guessing. 193. I wasn't that bad, or this is my settings. It's my Bundesliga 2. So let's check it. Kiel 192. So we're once again very close. So you see, it does work. It does apply these what I explained to you. And I leave you with this. So thanks a lot for watching, and bye bye. Check out my other videos, like my channel, subscribe to my channel, like my channel, like this video, whatever you can do. Thank you very much.